Hello everyone, Absent Friend here, and look what I just got in. It came in just less than 30 minutes ago, and it's now on my table. Got myself set up and ready to record this unboxing. So here we go, Disney Villainous Treacherous Tides. Let's check it out. First of all, let's take a look at the back of the box here. So you know we have Davy Jones and we have TAMATOA. We knew that was coming. And a few glamour shots of some stuff that we haven't seen online yet. But let's go ahead and just dive right in, shall we? I could not believe I was able to get this as early as I was. I got it directly from Ravensburger. It was on their website. You probably can too if you go to their website, ravensburger.com, depending on what country you're in. And I ordered it, and my first thought was, oh gosh, they made a mistake and put it out before they didn't mean to, and someone's going to say, oh, I'm so sorry, that was a mistake, you shouldn't have been able to order that, blah, blah, blah. But here it is. So I got it, and I'm very, very excited. So now I've got to keep an eye out for the new Star Wars, because I want to get that too as soon as I can. All right, we are ready for the reveal. Here we go. Big box of 2 characters, but that's okay. Seems to be the way they're going. So here's our instruction manual. It's pretty strange. Standard instruction manual, of course. All right, so we have, let's open up our tokens here. Okay, so it looks like, whoops. Okay, so get that out of the way for a moment. Looks like we've got these things, which appear to be, these are the treasures, I think. Yes. Looks like there are 5 of them. And of course you have your standard powers, tokens, and your strength modifiers. I don't see anything else, so let's just move those out of the way. And let's focus on these treasures, okay? So let's take a look here. All right, so we've got 5 treasures here. The key, Jack's compass, the heart, music box, and treasure chest. Okay, so they all seem to have little what do you call it? Abilities. I guess that they have, because they get attached to, from what I've read, to heroes, I believe. But they can either be face down or face up. So I assume if they're face down, they're not active. They're just there. But let's see. So the treasure chest says allies cannot be played at this location. Nice. The music box says the Kraken cannot be used to defeat the hero. Nice. I assume this hero that's attached to. When the heart is collected, lose all power. Nice. I'm talking. This is obviously for the people who are playing against Davy Jones, and I know people like to hoard power, so that's a good thing. When the key is revealed, discard your hand. Nice. This hero gets +2 strength with Jack's compass. All right. So that's kind of cool and interesting and new. All right. So here are our boards, and it looks like we've got. I'm not really sure what color Davy Jones is supposed to be. Let me just dive right into this thing. I really don't want to use my scissors because I don't want to scratch. There we go. I don't want to scratch the actual cardboard. That sharp scissor blade. Come on now. There we go. I'm sure there are proper tools to do this correctly with. I seem to remember back in the day of CDs, there was a tool that you could buy to flawlessly open your CDs. Because sometimes CDs are... Anyway, that's a Generation X thing. So if you youngins out there are going, what the heck is he talking about? You got to Google it. All right, so this says collect all 5 treasure tokens. That's what he has to do. So I assume that's all of these, and he has to collect them all. So that'll be interesting. Kind of makes me think of Scar a little bit, or Cruella de Vil being able to get the puppies. Now let me check my camera and make sure that this is, looks good and centered in the lens. So hold on. Okay. All right. So here's our board. Our locations: the Flying Dutchman, below deck, Davy Jones's quarters, and the Showls, I guess I'm saying that right, of Shipwreck Island. I have a vague recollection of this movie, or excuse me, of both movies that he's in. So you Pirates of the Caribbean fans out there are going to have to fill me in on any blanks I may have with this character. If I make any mistakes, I'm sorry. All right, but it looks pretty standard. You've got your 1 power, your 2 power, and your 3 power. Only one of them can be covered. You have some move items and allies. You have your Vanquish over here. You have your Fates. There's your double card play action. There are your discards. Everything looks pretty standard as far as Disney Villainesses go, as far as how they set up the boards. You can cover, although this is kind of like Maleficent, you can actually cover up both of the move actions. So that'll be, I'm sure that's going to be very strategic. But it looks like you can cover up all but 3 of the play card actions. Okay. So if you are, you could really hamper him a little bit here with his Fates and limit his ability to put cards out. All right, so that's his board. Pretty straightforward. Yeah, I like it. Okay, and I like the color too. I don't think we've seen this shade of green before. It's a very seaweed green color. That's fitting, I guess. I'm not really a connoisseur of color, so those of you out there who know their colors, let me know. All right, so there's that. And let's go ahead and look at Tamatoa over here. He is that nice deep purple like the Evil Queen has. And he has to have the heart of Tafiti, I hope I'm saying that right, and Maui's hook at his lair, which is actually here. Interesting. So he's probably like, he has a lot to, that sounds like Ursula, right? You have to move those certain items to her lair, but his lair is right there. So it's not all the way over here, it's over there. Very interesting. Okay. But once again, I see very standard looking board. He does not have a 3. So that's interesting. He has 2 2s and 2 1s. Okay. So I guess that's how they balance it. But you can cover those, but these are still active. Oh, this is interesting. You can Fate and Vanquish, whether that's covered up or not. And he can cover up all but 2 of his play card actions. Okay, so we saw with Davy Jones there was 3 available, whether they got covered up or not, and this only has 2, so that's also very interesting. You also have an available move card action that won't ever be covered up. Everything else is pretty standard, so it looks like you can cover up everything on Tamatoa's board. He can still do the things that are covered up on other places, so that's always nice. I always like that. It sucks whenever somebody covers up your board and you can't do certain actions because they're all covered up. But that's nice. I like that. All right. So, okay. Oh, yeah. See, once again, I know nothing of these. I don't know this movie very well either. So, okay. Life is cruel. Why should the afterlife be any different? And what have we here? It's sparkly, shiny. Wait a minute. It's a human. I don't know if that's his accent, but there you go. All right, so now let's take a look at their guides. Very important here. Action symbol cheat sheet. Everything. I love how they put the move a hero icon because or the activate. None of them have that unless it's on a card. Maybe it's on a card. So, but it's nice to have that, I guess. Anyway, if you're new to Villainous, it's always nice to have that little cheat sheet. Okay, so here's the instruction manual, and it says, the near immortal Davy Jones. You know what? I'm not going to read all that. That's just going to take up too much time, and I'm sure you guys want to look at the cards, and so do I. All right, but it just kind of looks like a standard villain guide, showing you what everything is and all the new stuff that's available. And, ooh, those pesky heroes. And apparently there's a watch and learn video. I'm very curious if it's out. I remember when the last box came out, those videos took a while before they were actually available. So I'll check them. I'll check out the link later and see if it works. Here's Tamatoa's setup. Now remember, he has 2 different decks. He has this golden deck and his purple deck. And he has a 3rd deck called the Maui deck. So he has a Maui deck and a villain deck and then his fate deck. Okay, I think Davy Jones is just your standard villain. Yeah, he's just standard villain fate deck. But he has 2 different decks, so that's interesting. I don't think we've ever had somebody who's had 2 different non-fate decks. We've had, you know, the 4 fate decks, which is really just one fate deck spread out with Yzma, and we've had the 2 different fate decks, sort of, from Madam Mim, which one is just a transformation deck, but still it's on the fate side. But I think this is the first time we've ever seen somebody with 2 different villain side decks. All right, so that will be very interesting, and this tells you how Maui's deck works, and his hook, etc., and the heart and all that stuff. And ooh, but it's a fake. All right, a fake. No additional ability. Thanks for clarifying that. Okay, let's look at the cards, shall we? All right, we'll start with Davy Jones. How about that? Or actually, before we get into the cards, let's look at their movers. I really didn't look at their movers until now. So there's the crab, and he's a crab in his shell. Kind of blends in with my table, doesn't it? So interesting, very, very interesting. It just looks like a hermit crab in a shell, and you really even don't see his face. It's just his claws. Okay, all right. Very different shape than what we're used to. And Davy Jones, oh, that's cool. I like the color. Davy Jones is very nice. They got his hat right. They got the squid tentacles right. It's got a nice balance to it. That's gonna be cool. I'm loving that mover. I'm loving that mover. And I was gonna say there's a little sparkle in there, but no, not really. There's a little bit of sparkle in this, sort of, kinda, maybe. Now, if you're patient and you get the Target available one, which I don't think comes out till August, you get a sparkly mover for him. But I'm not patient, nor do I have any interest in that. All right, so let's take a look at these cards, shall we? And they have the nice little plastic remover thing there. It's lovely. And here we go. All right. Actually, let me move the camera down just a little bit, and I'll be right back with y'all, and we'll take a look at these cards in the decks. All right? So that way you'll get a better view. So see you back in a moment. All right, and we're back. Here it is with our, cards for Davy Jones. So first we have Bootstrap Bill. And it says when Bootstrap Bill is played or moved to a new location, you may reveal a treasure token on a hero at that new location. That's interesting because wouldn't that activate that ability? But maybe you're supposed to actually collect the treasure, more than likely. This is First Mate Makis, I think that's right. When First Mate Makis is used to defeat a hero, you may discard another ally from your realm instead of him. That's good. The Clanker. He's an ally, but he also adds a Vanquish action to your board, so that's good. More Vanquish actions is always good. Hadris. When Hadris is discarded from play, reveal a face-down treasure token on a hero. Nice. I assume you can only collect them after you've revealed them, so you probably just can't. Yeah. Okay, well, I'll have to look at that more closely. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different crews of the Dutchman. And they gain 1 strength for every other location with an ally in it. So I guess that means they can get up to 3 extra strength. So definitely spread these guys around for sure. So they can be up to 4 strength if every location has an ally. Looks like that was all the ally cards. If there are more, we'll get to them later. Here's an effect card. It says, Wake the Kraken. I can hear Maggie Smith's voice from Clash of the Titans right now. Release the Kraken! That's my Maggie Smith impression for you. Discard the ally from play. Find the Kraken. Or discard an ally from play and find the Kraken and play it to Davy Jones's location for free. Okay, so I do know the Kraken because I've seen it in promo shots. The Kraken costs 5 power to play, so this is a very good thing to do. It's like Felicia in Radigan's deck, where you can sacrifice a ally to bring in Felicia. Well, this one lets you sacrifice. You just have to pay the 2 costs to do this, and then you can sacrifice an ally and play the Kraken for free. So 2 instead of 3 is pretty good. There's another one. This is the Wyvern, I always say that wrong, speaks. During their turn, if another player plays an ally, you may play Wyvern Speaks. Oh, this is a condition. Draw 3 cards, then discard 2 cards from your hand. So if they play an ally, then you get to draw 3 cards, then discard 2 cards. Interesting. There's another one. Here's another effect. Do you fear death? I've seen this on the promotions. Reveal fate cards until you find a hero. Discard the rest. Play that hero to any location and place a face down treasure token on that hero. So something tells me to get your treasure, you have to get the heroes out to get that treasure on the board. That's what I'm taking from the card so far. We'll find out. There's another one. There's another one. There's another one. So this is also kind of like Lotso, where you have to get the heroes out on the board to do the thing that you have to do with them to win the game. So it's very interesting that you have to force heroes onto the board to win the game, but there you go. All right, we have the black spot. Reveal a face down treasure token on a hero. Okay, so here's another condition. I'll take that as a no. During their turn, if another player defeats a hero with 3 or more strength, oh, I hate these. You may play, I'll take that as a no. Choose 2 cards from your discard pile and put them in your hand. Well, being able to do that sounds like a really good idea, but you have to wait for someone to defeat a hero with a strength of 3 or more. Ugh. Sometimes you're playing against people who don't need to defeat heroes at all, right? Like Lady Tremaine, you don't really have to defeat heroes unless you want to. Ursula, you really don't have to defeat heroes unless you want to, like except Ariel. But how often does that happen? Snow White, Evil Queen, same thing. You know, so a lot of these heroes just don't get defeated. The only one who really has to defeat heroes to win is Lotso. Well, he doesn't really have to defeat them. Scar. So maybe if you're playing against Scar, that would be a good one to play. Scar does have a lot of 3+ strength heroes. Friends becoming enemies. Trade treasure tokens between 2 heroes or move a treasure token from one hero to another. Okay. I'm sure that will be handy in some way or the other. I've seen a lot of Pete in this too, because you have to get all these treasure tokens, and there's 5. Pete only has to do 4, but you have to, well, I guess you don't have to reveal them in Pete, but you do have to reveal them here, and you don't know which is what, and you can trade them amongst each other, so that's interesting. Here's another effect, the chase. Play any hero to any move any hero to a location with an ally. I'm sure that will be handy when you're ready to defeat them. That way you don't have to move allies across the board. During their turn, this is another, so it has 3 conditions. During their turn, if another player discards 2 or more cards, yuck, that happens sometimes. You may play there, here, that's from Poltergeist. Place a face down treasure token on a hero without one. Okay, well, all right, I guess that gets you closer to your goal. Here's an item, and I think that's it. That's all his fate cards. So he has 1 item, and of course, it's the Flying Dutchman. If Davy Jones is at this location, he may take a non-fate action at another location with the crew of the Flying Dutchman. Now that's really cool. That is really cool, and I assume that does not cost a play card action. Right. Okay. That's really, really cool. So yeah, you get extra power, you play extra cards. Yeah, that's gonna be cool. I can't wait to try them out. All right, let's take a look at the fate cards, shall we? Here's our Johnny Depp, our favorite pirate, I guess. Davy Jones is at Jack Sparrow's location. Davy Jones cannot perform a vanquish action. Okay. Cannot perform. Oh, okay. So it'd be wise to play him at the vanquish action location, or wherever that other dude is. Will Turner, when Will is played or moved, discard an ally with a strength of 2 or less from his new location. Ooh, interesting. There's Miss Swan. Gain 1+ strength when another hero is played. Oh, okay, so she'll need these. So every time another hero is played, hopefully she's played first, but every time another hero is played, she gets stronger. Cool. All right, here is James Norrington. When Davy Jones collects a treasure token, James Norrington gets 1 strength. When James Norrington is defeated, Davy Jones gets 2 power. Okay. Collects a treasure. Oh, okay. Interesting. Very specific ability. The crew of the Black Pearl, because they're good guys now, gain 1+ strength for each other hero in play. Okay. I assume that's all the time. So that will fluctuate. Interesting. Okay, well here's a compass, or it's in effect. You may move one hero with a treasure token to any location. You may move one hero without a treasure token to any location. Okay, so why did they have to specify it that way? You may move one, let me read that again, maybe I misread it. You may move one hero with a treasure token to any location. You may move one hero without a treasure token to any location. Why didn't they just write, you may move any hero to any location? Right? I mean, those are the only types of heroes, are there not? Maybe I'm missing something. We have a few of those. Calypso's Love. Oh. Reduce JV Jones' power to 2. Oh, I like that. So no matter what his power is, it goes down to 2. It's not subtract, or take away 2, or he loses 2 power. He goes down to 2. That's awesome. And there are 3 of those total. That's going to be pretty nice for you Fators out there. Remove a treasure token from a hero. Shuffle it into the supply. Place a token face down hero that does not have one. Remove a treasure token from a hero. Shuffle it into the supply. Place a treasure token face down on a hero that does not have one. Remove a treasure. Okay, shuffle into the supply. Oh, okay. So it's just taking one off and putting a new one on. Kind of like Madam Milman transformations. And then, of course, since you had the Flying Dutchman on Davy Jones' side, you're going to have the Black Pearl on the other side. Attach the Black Pearl to a hero. When that hero is defeated, if there is another hero at the location, attach the Black Pearl to that hero. All right, that's awesome. Okay, so let's move on to, what's his name? Tamatoa, the big crab. All right, here we go. Now we're doing the big crab. Okay, where's that little thing? Okay, so here we go. Let's check out Tamatoa real quick. Okay, so first thing, one of his allies is a fish monster. Y'all, I have to admit with this, I have to admit I've never seen Moana, so help me out here with some of these if I get them wrong. Fish monster can be used in vanquish actions against heroes in a J. Oh, so that's our Y attacker. Okay, cool. 8-eyed bats, freaky. Each time an ally is played, you may move 8-eyed bats to their location. Okay. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. Okay, nice. So you can spread them all around if you want. Or move them. You may move each time. Okay. I guess you can only move one instead of multiple ones. Here's another ally, Tree Monster. When the Tree Monster is used to defeat a hero, you may move any card in play to a new location. Any card. That could be anything. Any card? Any card. Okay. Might be interesting. Sloth Monster. Heroes at Sloth Monster's location get -1 strength. We've seen that before. Here's an item, Maui's Hook. Hang on just a minute. Well, this is all the purple deck. I have yet to see... Oh, here's Maui's deck. Okay. So Maui's deck... Okay, so after I said all that, I just realized Maui's deck is another Fate deck because all the cards in here are white once you turn them over. Okay. So I take it back. It's not... He doesn't have 2 different villain decks. He has 2 different Fate decks. And that's a shame. But that's okay. Maui's Hook, well, this is an item... While Maui's Hook is unattached, each time a Fate action targets Tamatoa, gain 2 power. Is unattached. Okay. Each time a Fate action, gain 2 power. When Maui is defeated, while Maui's Hook is attached, Maui's Hook returns to Tamatoa at the same location. So it's very much, I got it. This is the Trident from Ursula. You play this, and I assume Maui can come and steal it. And then, and as long as it's unattached, which means I guess it's not on Maui, you can fate, or you can gain 2 power every time you're fated. So there's a little bit of Ursula and a little bit of Evil Queen there. Okay, all right, I'm with it. And they're both purple, which is also interesting. There you go. All right, fish are dumb. This is a condition. During their turn, if an opponent takes 2 or fewer actions, that's interesting. Play fish or dumb, gain 3 power. 2 or fewer actions. Well, that's actually really good. So you really want to bait other players so they can use less actions. All right, and you got a couple of them. Here's an effect. Bait. Draw a card for each hero in your realm. Okay, nice. There's another one of them. Here's another condition. Not so tough. During their turn, if another player plays an ally with 3 or less strength, you may play Not So Tough. On your next turn, all cards played cost 1 less power. On your next turn. Okay. Okay, so you have to keep that out just to remind yourself that you can do that. And there's another one. Not exactly Maui time. Reveal the top card of the Maui deck. You may play it or discard it. Okay. Oh, there's several of those. Cool. All right, here's another effect. Trapped. You may take 1 non-fate action covered by any hero. Oh. So I assume that means on any location. And it's got to be covered. Does it have to be at that location or can it be any location? Because it says covered by any hero. So that suggests it could be any location. That might need a clarification. Although it's probably at the location now that I think about it. Because I'm thinking about the Evil Queen has a card like that. Okay. Gain 2 power. I just said any hero and that just kind of, that fizzled me a little bit. Nice and shiny. Gain 2 power. Shuffle Maui's discard pile back into his deck. Here's another one of them. I'll tell you in song. Shuffle 3 discarded villain cards into your deck and draw 2 cards. 3 discarded. Oh, so you get to pick. Interesting. There's another one of them. You look like seafood. Pay power equal to the strength of a hero. Oh, I like that. That's cool. Just defeat any hero. All you gotta do is pay the cost. I like that. Powerless. Give a hero up to 3 -1 strength tokens. Okay. So I guess that's in case they go over. It's a good way to ride it, for sure. Here's another effect. Crustacean with the power of creation. I like that. You may shuffle your fate discard pile into your deck. Reveal the top 4 cards. Play each item revealed to a different location. Discard remaining cards. I've only seen 1 item. Maybe there was another one I missed it. We'll go back and look. Into your deck. Reveal the top 4 cards. Play each item revealed to a different location. Discard remaining cards. Okay, there's several of those. So, yeah, there's only 1 item. So how can there be play each item revealed? Oh, it says your fate discard pile. Boy. Okay, my bad. Well, let's take a look at the Maui deck before we get into the fate deck, huh? Alright. So, okay. So, kind of wonder if he has... Does he have the standard 30? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. Yeah, it has a standard 30. So he must have extra cards because it felt like a standard 15 fate deck. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, he has extra cards. Okay, these are not instead of, these are as well as. All right, nice. Okay, so let's take a look at the Maui deck. These have the gold back. And see, that's why I thought they were villain cards, because they have the solid color, just like the other villain cards. Anyway. Alright, so this says... Hey, I don't know what that says. Revealed, immediately discard, then reveal and play the next 2 Maui cards. Okay. All allies gain +2, all heroes gain +1. Okay. All allies gain +1, all heroes gain +2. Interesting. Fish Maui. Oh, that's right. He can change forms, can't he? Okay. Tamatoa reveals his hand. Gain 1 power for each condition in your hand. Then discard your conditions. Interesting. Pig Maui. Tamatoa immediately... This is kind of like Madam Mim and her transformations. Tamatoa immediately loses 3 power and draws 4 cards. Interesting. Reindeer Maui. Discard the top 2 cards from your Fate and Villain decks. Okay. Lizard Maui. Tamatoa discards an ally from his realm. I guess you get to choose. Gain power equal to the ally's strength. So there's a little strategy there. Sea Star Maui, on your next turn, Tamatoa does not have to move to a new location. That's cool. We haven't seen that in a while. Shuffle. Oh, there we go. Shuffle together all allies in Tamatoa's location. Randomly distribute them between all locations as evenly as possible. Okay. And play the top. Shark Maui, play the top card of your fate deck on yourself. Discard the top 2 villain cards from your deck. Interesting. Although I've never seen anything on how to play them, unless there's something in the fate deck that does that. Let me scan the... Okay, the Maui deck is a mysterious bag of effects. Draws a Maui card while Maui's in play, and before... Okay, so while Maui's in play, you have to draw from there. Okay, I'll have to read that more in depthly, but I was just kind of curious. Alright, let's take a look at the actual fate cards. Speaking of which, there's the Rock himself. Before Tamatoa moves, he must reveal and play the top card of his Maui deck. Thank you. That's lovely. Thank you for telling me that. That's exactly what I love to see. Very clear instructions. 8 power. He's like Peter Pan. Okay, so he's probably going to be there for a while. Mini Maui. Look at the top 3 cards of the Maui deck and return them in any order. That's cool. You can plan your attack. Sort of. Moana. When Moana is played, if the Heart of Tafiti is at her location, attach it to her. Nice. So I would assume play her at the Heart's location. There's that thing, which has no abilities. The instruction guide was very clear about that. Move a hero or unattached item to an adjacent location. Okay, there's a few of those. Something shiny. Cover. Oh, this is a fate item. And there are 4 of those. So, okay. That makes a lot more sense now. Something shiny covers actions like heroes and is not attached to heroes. Heroes at this location cannot be defeated. When Tamatoa ends his turn at this location, discard this item. And there are 3 of those. So that's interesting. It's a little temporary protection. Almost like a restriction in the Star Wars game. Maui time. Find Maui and play him. Find Maui's hook and attach it to Maui. Nice. This is definitely how you're going to keep the hook on the fate side. There's several of those too. Still upside down. Tamatoa loses half his power. Round up. Alright. And finally, the Heart of that. Play the Heart of Tafiti. I assume I'm saying that right. Unattached to any location. Find Moana and attach Heart of the Tafiti to her at that location. When Moana is defeated, move the Heart of Tafiti to Tamatoa's side of the realm at his location. So it seems like the fate people get to decide if that card is played. So I didn't notice if there was a villain card that allows you to play fate items. There was one, wasn't there? Hang on. I seem to recall. Yes. Crustacean. Play each. Yes. So you revealed the top 4 cards. Okay. So you can't reveal until you find an item, but you can at least find it yourself. So Fators don't play that item. But anyway, so there you go. But when Tamatoa plays it, he still has to do all that stuff. So that's interesting. Okay. So Tamatoa definitely has a large deck. More cards than this guy has. Yep. Definitely more cards. Yeah, I think he has this. Wait. That does not feel like 15. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh, no, it's 15. Okay. Cards are just new and thick. Okay. So there we have it, folks. We have the Davy Jones. We have Tamatoa. And so now what we're going to do is that's everything in the box. Now what we're going to do is we're going to have to play them several times, a lot, to try to figure out the best course of action and get some strategy guides made for you. So far I can already sense some bubblings on how things might work, but I got to do a little bit more research and get right down to the nitty-gritty of how these are going to work well for you guys so that you can learn how to play them. So when you get yours, you can have the best chance of winning with these new characters. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I know I did. I've been waiting for this, and it's finally here, and I'm so glad I was able to get it as early as I was able to get it. So once again, you can get yours too. Go to Ravensburger.com and get yours now. It shipped pretty quickly too. So anyway, let me know in the comments what you guys think about these new cards. Let me know if there was anything unclear, if I messed up something. I know the camera was a little high up at the beginning, so let me put the boards back so we can get a better shot of the boards. Actually, let's do the treasures. Okay, so you can kind of get a better idea of them. I love the hexagonal shape. That's really cool. So there they are. That's nice. Okay, so you can kind of see what they do. There you go. Pause it real quick and check them out. Okay, and then here's Tamatoa's board. There we go. Fills up the whole screen, doesn't it? Okay, so there's that. As you can see, like I said before, it's pretty standard board for both of them and how they work. So check it out. Alrighty, and now Davy Jones's board. You can kind of see the boards pretty well in the promo shots, but some things are covered up. So at least this way you get a chance to see it fully uncovered. All right, so there you go. Davy Jones's board. Okay, so there we have it. Davy Jones, Tamatoa, new Disney villains. Yeah, they definitely went for an aquatic theme on this one, but that's okay. We'll see how they work out, and hopefully that they will line up nicely with all the other villains available for Disney Villainous. So stick around, and I'll get these guides out as quickly as I can. In the meantime, check out all my other guides, my playlists, and I'll put a link in the description. And check out anything else on my channel. Be sure to subscribe, give me a thumbs up and a like. Share this with as many people as you can think of who love Disney Villainous. I've gotten a lot of nice comments about how my guides really help out a lot of people. So if you have a friend and y'all want to get better at Disney Villainous, check out the other guides. I think they'll be a big help to everybody who plays this game. Or if you want to get someone involved in the game who's never played it before, but you would think would like it, definitely share my videos with them, and let's grow this channel together. All right, so once again, this is your absent friend signing off.